Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm thrilled to chat with Denise Richards from mortgageprofessional.net. Denise, you're killing it in the mortgage and real estate space. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. This is fantastic.
Our listeners are in for a treat for how you're making financing clear for everyone, buyers and investors. Let's jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a crazy time right now in the real estate market. A lot of people are sort of paralyzed, not sure what to do, if they should do anything at all. It's a very exciting time, actually, when you want to think about the opportunity here in terms of it being a buyer's market. But what you were referring to is, having that right fit for that particular buyer or investor. All mortgages are not created equal, and not everybody is going to fit into that box exactly perfect. One of my best strengths, I suppose, is my ability to be resourceful. So if I have a client who comes to me and they've got a hard time proving their income, or maybe they don't quite have enough equity to fit in the perfect program, I have a lot of resources available to me because I am an independent broker. So being an independent mortgage broker allows me to work for the client and not for the bank, which gives me a lot more flexibility. So I can find the right program for them if it doesn't happen to be readily available to me the first time I look. So it's been an exciting change since I got my broker's license 2 years ago. I'm able to help my client at a much higher level than I ever was working for somebody else. So in terms of, finding that right program, I think that is probably one of my best strengths. Depending on where you are in your lifetime, your first mortgage, or maybe it is your last mortgage. But we want to look at that, entire financial plan. We want to look holistically at your whole financial life in terms of any debt that you have. We want to manage that the best that we can and help you build personal financial wealth through homeownership.
Yeah. In this wild market, what's been the key to keeping clients happy and your business strong?
Well, a lot of folks, when they think about a mortgage, if they've had one before, they might shake their head and just hope that it goes okay. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, eyes crossed. But it doesn't have to be like that. With the anxiety of getting into a mortgage, I think the most important thing that I can do for a client is really take all the stress off of them. Let it be the easiest transaction that they've ever been through, knowing that I'm on the other side for them at the end and after. It's not, you didn't just go to Walmart and buy something. That's not what this is about at all. This is about looking at a client in the entire picture and to determine if it's the right thing for them. Maybe they've come to me because they've gotten themselves into some credit card debt. They're not sure what to do. But maybe I look at that and I determine, listen.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
If you do X, Y, and Z, you'll get through this debt without refinancing. And it might not be something that I personally do to help them, but maybe it's just the guidance that I give them. So that's a big piece of what I do. It's the advocacy for my client.
That's great. And I love how what you do is so personalized. And you've done like conventional and jumbo loans from what I was looking at on your website. When it comes to investors, what's a financing strategy that you've thought has been really good for them?
Yeah, it's a debt service coverage ratio mortgage. So those who are investors who, a lot of folks who are self-employed, they are not going to have a tax return with a whole bunch of income. If you're smart, you have your costs leveraged correctly so that you can use them to deduct from your taxes. And with that said, sometimes that's not the option to prove income. Sometimes it's the property itself. So we're able to use a rent amount in comparison to the mortgage amount and determine whether or not the property is a fit for this program. You can have as little as 20% down for that program and work towards building that investment portfolio without using your own income to qualify. And ultimately, because there's less documentation, it's a much easier loan and less stressful loan for the investor. That's a big one. Another one is, if you are looking to, maybe it's your first investment property, maybe it's your first home. Think about a duplex. You're walking right into an investment opportunity for yourself. And quite honestly, a duplex is going to allow you to qualify a little easier because you have that added income from the other side of the property. So there are a lot of different strategies that I have for the investor in terms of what they're trying to do and what their long-term goals are. Some folks just they don't have the wherewithal to be property managers or even want to have that. And then there are those folks that's really their ultimate focus. So a lot of different unique programs. I help the veterans. VA is a very popular program for the vets. Allows them to get into a house with no money down. The United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, has a rural home loan where there's a zero down requirement for that. That property would need to be on their map. And here in Southwest Florida, primarily everything east of I-75 is on their map that you can buy with no money down. So I have access to every program available, including the Hometown Heroes that Florida will fund here very shortly. That will be for our frontline workers, teachers, hospital staff, folks like that this time. So a lot of opportunities out there, lots of different ways to get into a house. And you might even decide that maybe you need to pull that equity from your home in some way. I have lots of different strategies in terms of that also. And we'll do a true mortgage analysis to determine if that is even a good move for the homeowner.
I love the way that you see things. You look at everyone uniquely, see how they need to get helped, and you find the best tool for them, the best solution.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very important. I'm not an order taker. This is not transactional. I am not Bank of America. I will never be anything like any of the big box banks. With me, it's a very personal service. I am a mortgage broker. That means I do not work for anybody else, and nobody works for me. I am not about building a team and taking care of other people. The only people I want to take care of are my clients. And so for me, after 28 years in this industry, I am really truly able to do just that, take care of my client, not babysit other issues or problems or processors or anything else. It's really the Denise Richards show when it comes to taking care of my client now. And you know what they say, you have too many cooks in the kitchen, it spoils the pot. And every mortgage lender, every mortgage bank, every mortgage broker that I worked for, there were so many cooks in the kitchen. It was really hard for me to deliver the experience that I wanted to. And so now I have that ultimate control.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's so good for your clients that you do have that control. So with all the experience that you've had, I've gotta ask, can you share a time where a deal went sideways, but you got through that tough moment? How did you handle that?
That is hard. I had one recently. These folks are they're immigrants from Haiti, and they both work, husband and wife. They both work two jobs. They work so hard. And at when we started the transaction and we were under contract, of course you have deadlines and everything else. The wife really didn't want the husband on the mortgage, and it was second job income. Very difficult to prove. Very difficult to document when there's lots of them. And here we got all the way through it, and my underwriter cut my income. It's very, very, there's a little bit of gray area there, cut my income. We added the husband on, able to close on time. I made these people's American dream come true. Do you know how good that felt? These hardworking people that want to become American citizens, they are just, they're amazing to work with. And the gratitude, that I'm able to help them be a small part of their American dream is, I can't even put it into words, the value there for even just me. It's one of
Yeah,
them.
that's awesome. That is a feel good story. Thank you
It
for
is. And you know
sharing.
what? I actually have another one in case if we edit this, but I had a gal up in Lakeland, and she was recently diagnosed with cancer. And so she lived all the way down in Inglewood, and she was buying a house in Lakeland. New construction, Wells Fargo couldn't get it done. And she was in the final hour, about to lose her escrow deposit. And her agent came to me, and not only did we get her closed, but we got her closed on time. I had no problems getting her qualified. And so she could be in Lakeland with her niece and closer to Moffett so she could go for her treatments after her surgery. That was one of my very favorite ones. Just being able to help the family like that and take the stress off of them was, it's why I do what I do.
Love it. I've got to ask you too, with all that you do with mortgages, what's one tip for anyone watching this podcast who's overwhelmed by financing?
Call me, number one. If you don't even know where to start, maybe it's credit. Maybe credit is holding you up. Maybe you feel your credit's not where it should be. People put so much emphasis on their credit score, and while that is important, it's also very transitory. Credit scores change every day, and there are some brilliant ways to get those scores up where they need to be able to buy. So like I say, even if you don't think that you're ready or you don't think that you can, speak to a professional like me who can at least guide you in the right direction and give you a time frame. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. I also wanted to talk to you about relationships because, and I mean, we've already talked about a lot with relationships and the clients you've been helping and changing their world. But when it comes to like networking, what's been like the biggest win with building your network?
For me, 5 years ago, remember, I've been in the mortgage business since 1998. And about 5 years ago, I joined a networking team, networking group, and it really changed everything. When you're a loan officer, you're almost an LONE officer. And depending on who you're working for or with, you may be by yourself all the time, unless you're out and about. So networking was huge for me. It gave me an opportunity to meet financial planners, attorneys, other mortgage professionals, and certainly real estate agents. It helped me to visualize what I wanted my business to be like. And I think having known all of these phenomenal people throughout these last 5 years really is what gave me the confidence and the courage to get my broker's license and go out on my own. So my networking is a very important part of my world. I like to say I don't prefer to serve the masses. I prefer to work with people that I like. And when I network in this fashion and people are referred to me and I'm able to refer people back to them, there's a level of accountability, almost like family. You just want to make sure that that person you're putting them with does the right thing. The person that you're talking to is getting to the right person, whether it's mortgage or roofing or whatever it is, to be a community that, a community contact for somebody. Florida is very transient, and there are a lot of people that move to Florida, not necessarily for honorable reasons, and will start a business and want to do your landscape or your roof or your painting, and you don't know them, don't work with them. You've got to work with somebody that you know. And that networking that I've done has really allowed me to be kind of a powerhouse in that way, where I feel really good about my network and the people that I work with. It was kind of the missing link for me all those years.
Yeah, those relationships can be everything, and it's win-win when you can help other people, and they can help you back, and you've got their back, and they've got yours.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I think we're seeing a theme here. It's all feel-good stuff for me, right?
Yeah.
I decided when I turned 50 that I was not going to do anything that doesn't bring me personal joy anymore. And luckily, I get to do something that does bring me joy like this, like those situations I told you, where I'm able to help somebody in such a big, impactful way. I may not be changing the world, but I might be saving the world one loan at a time.
I love that. Oh, before we started this podcast, you and we were talking about the market, and I wanted to ask, what are the trends that you're noticing, and how are you preparing for that?
Those are really good questions. Ordinarily in our industry, we have lots of tools that we use to be able to kind of predict the future, right? Well, I think since COVID, all of that's kind of out the window. It's been so hard to nail down what's going to happen, so much so that even the Federal Reserve Board, their predictions have not come to pass. So it's been very difficult. So with that being said, I have prepared myself in a way that I can help folks who are not necessarily buying property. Because let's face it, as a mortgage broker, people buying property, it's just a captive audience. People need you. In off market times, it can be more difficult. Something that I am very passionate about is reverse mortgage. I help a lot of seniors change the whole trajectory of their retirement through a reverse mortgage, which is now FHA insured, and it completely protects the homeowner. But in those ways, I'm able to help other people who aren't necessarily buying. So while I can't tell you for sure what's going to happen, I can tell you that before the end of 2025, that pressure cooker, if you will, that I kind of mentioned earlier, it's going to pop off. We're going to lose that buyer's market. You're going to see these mortgage rates come down maybe as much as a full point. And those buyers sitting on the fence, they're done. Those sellers sitting on their 3% mortgage, they're done. And it's gonna change everything. So, you know what I like to say about the old roller coaster? The only person that dies on the roller coaster is the one that jumps off. And I'm hanging on tight. I
That's great. Another thing before we go, because I don't want to keep you here too long, is you're doing so much as a broker, but what's next on the horizon? What's a big goal you're chasing? What has got you excited?
have been contemplating building a team. I have been contemplating building a team, and as I get older and closer to a retirement age, which is not for another 10 years, but as I get closer, I may start to step away more and build that team. And that is something that I am considering. I am considering. I don't want to be the one doing the loans forever, but right now I'm still so passionate about it. I can't imagine not being the one to take care of the loans. So that is a goal for me. Another goal is licensure outside of the state of Florida. That will happen, as we move forward. Those are my biggest goals. 2024 was such an amazing year. In my industry, it wasn't easy, but it was the best year of my entire career. I actually got to go to Wall Street as one of the brokers of the year for largest wholesale mortgage lender in the country. I got to go to the New York Stock Exchange, and I was with the group that rang the bell. It was a very exciting time, and it is an exciting time to be a mortgage broker. Like I say, things may be a little stagnant right now, but they won't be for much longer. And that's really what I'm excited about. I'm excited about being able to handle the influx of business in a way that people still feel as comfortable by the time they get to the closing table as they do now when I'm not quite so busy. So it's going to be exciting.
That's great. Well, like you said, you're hanging onto the roller coaster. You're not letting go.
No. I mean, if I hung on through the Great Recession, I can hang on through this.
Denise, how can listeners connect with you or learn more at a Mortgage Professional?
Absolutely. So I'm actually the Mortgage Professional of Florida, LLC is the name of my company. I have a website, mortgageprofessional.net. Always reach me there. On my website, you'll even see a button that says Time with Denise. Maybe you just have some questions. Maybe you just want to get started. That's going to be the place for you to go to set up a time, a phone appointment, in-person appointment. My office is in downtown Punta Gorda. But I am all over the place, from Collier all the way up to Charlotte. I'm going out to Glades County tomorrow morning, and I'm all the way out in DeSoto County as well. So this area that I'm in, it allows me the ability to go everywhere within an hour. All of those places that I just mentioned are all within an hour's drive. My website is a great place to start. My Facebook page, Mortgage Professional, I'm right there also. The easiest way to find me, this is my favorite. If you simply Google Denise Richards, not the famous one, Denise Richards Mortgage, and I will pop up. I'll be the first person to pop up for you. That's the best way to find me.
Good. Thanks, Denise, for the awesome insights on the show today. And everyone, if you love this, subscribe to the Real Estate Pros Show. More pros like Denise are coming on here next. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.